not payable. That's how all gaming platforms are planning in this. Of course, you should learn how to play, not this, tax to ho jayega if you go on winning. Then not a problem. Value for guarantee commission. This is 1% on the amount. This is effective from date August or somewhere. Let me tell you, guarantee is executed. What is contract of guarantee? Contract is a contract of assurance by which a guarantor assures the person that in case the borrower defaults, I will make good the loss which you will incur. So you have borrowed 100 crore from somebody, X person guarantees him that look, if he does not pay in time or whatever time, then I will pay you this amount. The contract of guarantee is executed on a particular day. The assurance is made on that day. Thereafter, whatever guarantor does is a fulfillment of obligation which he undertakes on the day of guarantee. It is not that he goes on assuring every day. So if on April 23 you have executed a guarantee, you have given the assurance, the guarantee may be valid up to April 28. During this period, if any obligation arises, then the X person will fulfill that obligation. But the service of supplying guarantee is rendered on April 23. It is not a continuous service which every day you go on assuring. You don't go on telling the borrower, don't worry, I will pay. Don't worry, I will pay every day. No, the day he does not pay, you are under obligation, and that obligation is fulfilled by making your payment of 100 crore, whatever that amount you agree. Therefore, this law will apply only for the guarantee executed subsequent to this date. I think October somewhere in this. October is there. So, on that date, the guarantee which are executed prior to the earlier date, this law will not apply. Because the supply of guarantee was made immediately when the guarantee was executed. It is applicable only when it is executed or renewed. Kindly see, you have to be very careful. You're planning, 2 minutes और लेता हूँ. Planning is very essential because some of the borrowing you are renewing, like overdraft and this thing facilities, you keep on renewing. But the term loan and all that, you don't keep on renewing. It is executed once time. Whenever your renewal is there, you need to execute the guarantee in such a way that it is perpetually applicable. Therefore, you don't execute a fresh guarantee. Because you are aware that overdraft facility I am providing, I'll go on having the overdraft facility for 10 years, 15 years and all that. But then you can save on that guarantee commission amount, because very often in case of builders and all, you don't get a credit for the guarantee, GST which is payable. But two things I want to point out is that it is not applicable for guarantees executed prior to this date, and you better plan it out so that on renewal you don't pay again GST every time. This is credit. What is the SBLC full form? That is not guarantee. Guarantees, see, there are various security measures in a financial terms which are taken. The government has chosen to specify the valuation mechanism for guarantee. There are mortgage, there are hypothecation. Ultimately, they all result in the same thing. It's an assurance given, like you hypothecate the gold. you hypothecate your premises. These are all measures which are security measures. Additional guarantee is also a security measure in this thing. So if you are chosen, and these are commercially known as different terms. These are not that guarantee includes, otherwise the government could have defined. The guarantee includes hypothecation, all the letter of credit and all that this thing. Then it will expand it. But today not they given this thing, nothing is there in that. So it will not apply to that. एक मिनट, I'll just finish and then you can. ये लास्ट है मेरा. हाँ 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 बोलिए ना. हाँ हाँ. Income tax in this.
If suppose one person is issuing and one person is receiving,
No.
so one person will carry that income, otherwise the other person will not be able to take the credit of that. So if it is an income, again the TDS will be there, income tax will be there.
Sir, I understood. See, whenever law makes a deeming provision, it is not necessary that you must charge. Therefore, the word is notwithstanding. Notwithstanding, that means whatever may be my provision of valuation transaction value, I am not going on the transaction value at all. Even if you don't charge, I have prescribed the mechanism for determination of value. You don't charge. For income tax, you don't charge. Let income tax make a similar provision, that even if you don't charge, this is the amount of income which I will deem to be accrued to you. So, by this they cannot go to income. Let Income Tax Act make a section 24, what is the, they will specify one of the item as this also. Till then there is nothing. Don't go and tell them. And otherwise, transfer pricing is a different matter, provided you charge this thing. Anyway, that is cross-charging and distribution of credit. This is a big issue. If you have, there are two clarifications which has come. One is if you are cross-charging to any mechanism on other branches and offices, then the question of including the salary in the value of services will not arise. That is one better, they have clarified very clearly, and therefore that much relief you can very well claim. The second is they have said cross-charge and ISD are two different same mechanism. If the common services are not distributed, then you can make a cross-charge to that, and they say ISD, I will make it mandatory on that. Let me tell you this mechanism was made basically to ensure that the state in which the credit is availed should not lose the amount of tax. Because the benefit of many services are received throughout the country, it should not happen that the entire credit is utilized in a particular state. And this happens wherever now, when you put a lot of expenditure on some of the promotional measures. For example, today you find in the TV advertisement that AU small bank, so much advertisement is there. There are other promotional measures which are taken heavily by some of the companies. What they have done is they have incurred those credit. The benefit of advertisement accrues all over the country. Therefore, the GST charge by the advertiser, by the television person, should also accrue to all over the country. Now, if you take the credit in Maharashtra and utilize in Maharashtra, and payment is not made in Maharashtra, then the question of Maharashtra person says, sir, how can you utilize the credit, entire credit in Maharashtra, because the benefit of that has accrued to all over India. To ensure that only the proportionate credit is allowed in Maharashtra and utilized, so that Maharashtra doesn't lose the credit, the tax amount, they have made this cross-charge and ISD mechanism. This was not there in earlier draft. If you have seen those GST draft earlier, it was not a provision at all. But they have realized this aspect and they have done it. But the circular now says ISD is not mandatory. That is very good. And cross charge is you don't have a salary to be included, salary is not to be included in the value of services. To that extent it's a good this thing. But you must start cross charging to the other units so that the credit gets distributed by this mechanism. I think with this, 1-2 मिनट बाद में आप प्रश्न उत्तर कर लेना. With this, I have tried to cover all the amendments which are, most of the amendments which are benefit. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We'll take 1 or 2 questions only, so those who want to ask questions, please share the mic in the, please.
Hello. Sir, you already covered in a very explainable manner this liquidated damage is circular. Will it, and you also explained that for the delay supply it will be not regarded as a supply of service. But for a quality damage also same principle apply or will it be different?
Yeah, normally for quality, this thing, their value will get reduced. So credit note will be passed on to normally for credit. The section 34 permits deficient.
Compensation paid for the defective quality goods.
That's what I'm saying. Section 34 permits you the credit itself. Because for the deficient quality of goods or services, the value will get reduced on that. So there is a supply already made by you. That's not a compensation damages actually, but reduction in the value of this thing.
Hello. Sir, with respect to GST on online gaming, the GST will be the inclusive or exclusive? So let's say player...
No, it will be inclusive of this thing.
Inclusive.
That 1,000 will have to be divided. I may have said for easy of calculation that 280 rupees, but it will be inclusive of that.
And sir, second thing the same with respect to online gaming only.
Then you make an invoice also, divide this by maybe 740 rupees plus 260, like this you make an invoice. That's easy for you.
Also, sir, the deposit on which the GST has to be paid, that is not an outward supply for the company, because the earning for the company will be the commission which they are going to charge.
No, I did not follow what.
So basically the GST has to be paid on the deposit amount. So deposit is not an income for the company.
That's right.
Correct. So while preparing the financial statement, we are showing the commission income which company is earning. Whereas in GST we are showing as 1,000 rupees. So there is a
there will be mismatch. The 9C may will have to give that O is there, no, some para 2 may O karke.
Mismatch because the deposit amount is going to be huge amount and
there are so many reasons for mismatch between the financial and this thing. So many reasons are there. This is one of them.
Okay. Thank you.
But आप account तक ही रहना, ज़्यादा खेलने मत जाना. Credit. See, you have to show it is in course and furtherance of business. You will get a credit. That my boss has asked me to go there and I get refreshed so that I can do more business here. Like this, you have to make out a case. Yes. Past period is, frankly, I'll tell you, wherever already Karnataka High Court has given, wherever it is the game of skill, then it can't be called betting and gaming at all. But wherever it's not a game of skill, then you are in trouble. The question is, most of the games, Rummy and other which has been taken, that is game of skill. Others which are just played, वो table पे जाके आप लगाया वो लग गया क्या वो roulette वगैरह घूमता है चक्री, वो सब बहुत मुश्किल है बोलना. That is a problem. But then you can say these are all presumption, assumptions and all that thing. And uncertainty in the law, you have not made a mechanism. Somebody can argue, BC Srinivasa safety and all that, this thing. Yeah.
Sir,
हाँ,
GIDC has allotted a unit some 10 years ago. Now a unit transfer is complete unit to B. So can the lease of land by making confirming party GIDC also? So in this case, can it be called that GIDC has...
Understood, sir. कितना फाइट करना है आपका एज में तो हो जाएगा ये. See, you can fight out. There is a good case to contest that you will not get the no GST is payable. बराबर है. Having said so, you just wait for the Safari Retreat judgment of Supreme Court. If the credit is allowed, then don't fight. You follow? Because a purchaser, if he is using the goods, using the land in constructing the factory, then he will get a credit. Then don't contest. No, purchaser, you have sold to somebody, no?
is using, that unit is using for his purpose.
But that's what I'm saying. So leasehold land ka apne, you transferred the GA to GA, with permission of GIDC you transferred it. That's exactly I'm saying. So now the purchaser, if he would avail the credit and which is validated by Safari Retreat, then don't contest. Otherwise, if you want to contest, then be ready. At least 20 साल तो लग जाएगा उसको होने को पूरा. Yeah.
Sir, is ISD going to mandatory in this coming budget? Any chances of getting mandatory?
See, the way they have circulated, no clarification they have given, it doesn't seems to be.
Okay.
You follow, but law mein when you keep these two provisions separately, then it is very difficult that these circular will be upheld by higher courts. They may say this is contrary to the law and therefore I will not permit you. Therefore we have been telling that you make out a separate mechanism, so at least whatever past mein ho gaya wo ho gaya, bhul jaiye. Now you start.
Saurabh, can I ask the last question?
Oh, you yourself make a last one.
Hello.
Sure.
Sir.
Sir. I have two questions. One, I would like to understand your views on the comfort letters which are issued by MNCs to get the prospective customers. This is the first one. Second, regarding the liquidated damages or the penalty for cancellation of contract where there is no exit clause. So whether we can take shelter that this is a penalty and no GST is payable.
Yeah, first one is not a guarantee. So therefore comfort letter ka valuation will have to be done as per 28, whatever is there. And second one is this damages, so no, the circular will cover you, no GST is payable on that.
But it's not part of the contract.
Even otherwise, you can show that loss is made out. The only difference is earlier you both have set together and damage your amount quantified. But now your damage is there. Takes place mutually agreed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So my last question is, sir, services covered by provided by central government and state government, which we have already covered. So I've asked yesterday also, I could not get the answer. So labor board, Matahari board services provided by them will be covered under services by central government?
No. Board are different. These are totally different. Actually.
Okay.
The only thing is, don't record this. It's called, no. So they will not work, otherwise they will not pay. The department, since they are unable to recover from that, pounds upon you. Legally it is not there.
So under RCM I am not paying, under FCM they are also not paying.
Let it be. Ultimately when it comes, be ready to contest.
Okay.
DGJ and all says, no sir, these are not government, you issue me a notice. They will not issue a notice to you.
Okay.
Face this in security guard and all that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. So I just wish to welcome first my our chairman, WIC chairman C.A. Arpit Kabra, and our treasurer C.A. Ketan Saya. Welcome, sir, for the session. And now I would invite C.A. Saurabh Ajmera to present a memento to sir. So, sir, I would personally wish to express them that I'm really inspired by your simplicity, just not in the presence and appearance, but by the way you decode the law, which we've always seen in all your seminars. So, sir, thank you for enlightening us on the recent amendments of GST in such a simplified and enlightening manner, and also expressing my heartful gratitude for taking out this valuable time from your such occupied schedule. Thank you so much, sir. We may now proceed for a tea break for 5-10 minutes, and we request all of you to come back in 10 minutes. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to all of you. I welcome all of you on the second day of National Conference on GST hosted by WIRC. So as we all know, the topic, such a burning topic today, wherein we are spreading this across our members so that they give this knowledge to their members across WIRC. With this, as we all know, any event starts by its inaugural ceremony. But due to some reasons and traveling of our office bearers, we'll start today with the inaugural session. As we all know, lightning of lamp represents a never-ending light of knowledge. And who can spread this light better than the torch bearers of WRC? So this light would be taken far of knowledge by our chairman of WRC, CA Arpit sir, along with the other dignitaries, Secretary WRC, CA Saurabh sir, Treasurer, CA Ketan, the other speakers, CA Ladda sir, Saxena sir, Deepak sir, and all the other speakers present, please join us on the dais. Naveen Kumar sir, I would also request the conveners of nearby study circle to please join us on the dais.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
We all know teamwork makes the dream work, and the dream cannot be possible without our office bearers. The dream we all sought, but our office bearers are taking it ahead through their various initiatives done this year. So, to know the initiatives, I would request our treasurer, CA Ketan sir, to please address the gathering.
Thank you so much. Honorable Chairman of Western India Regional Council, RPG Kabra, my colleague, young and dynamic Secretary, C.S. Saurabh Ajmera, respected all speakers, panelists, dear members, it's an immense pleasure to be here in this 2 days national conference on GST. Of course, the last 1 week had been very, very hectic. We, trying to finish our rituals of visiting the branches, and so was yesterday. Some branch visits at Jalgaon, Dhule, and became yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. Coming to this conference, I think very wonderfully planned. Let me compliment the entire team for wonderfully planning this, including Ladda ji, Deepak bhai, for sparing their valuable time and conceptualizing this 2 days conference. We are heading towards a very important session, again, the interplay of GST with other law. I think a lot of time we focus only on GST and skip the implications of other law, and then the client or the SSC enters into the problem. I think this session is a very, very important session. We all, most of us being into small and medium sized practice, we cannot advise the client from one angle, only from GST angle, and we need to look at the income tax implications, the other tax implications. Coming over to the WIRC, we as an office bearer took over on 25th Feb, almost we are on the verge of completion of our term. I recollect this journey of 10-11 months. First month we used to sit almost till 11 p.m. in the night, and we were trying and discussing what should be done and how should we have this entire year. Of course, the prime motive, prime objective of the regional council is to educate the members and the student. We said, let's try and do something different. We created so many concepts. These are there. I think Shweta did talk about them, but let me talk about few of them which are very close to my heart. The young and dynamic chairperson Arpit, being a techno-savvy person, he said, let's keep technology into each activity's heart and brain. And I remember the first publication of bank audit. I have been involved in the bank audit publication of WRC since so many years. He said, let's do something different. So I said, sab to wahi hai, kya karna hai abhi naya? So he said, no, let's bring this time a QR code. So we printed a QR code on the front page of the book. And this QR code will take you to the WRC's website, a particular section, where the updates will be updated on a timely basis. Every time it happens that once we publish the book in the month of February, and then we realize some circular has come, some clarification has come of the Reserve Bank of India. Same thing happened this year. We had one circular coming up post this publication somewhere in the month of March, April. We immediately uploaded that circular. With a QR code, any member can reach to that page and he can easily download that circular. Not only that, the ICI came up with one Excel utility which was useful for the bank audit, for the planning of the entire bank audit. That utility also was immediately uploaded on the website. Beginning with this, we also discussed that it is not only this 21 council members' prerogative to run the council, and each and every member of our region, our Western India region, should get an opportunity. So we said, how do this can happen? We designed some program called My Role at WIRC. We sent mail 5 times to our members, briefing them about My Role at WIRC. We also hosted it on the web page, this section called My Role at WIRC, wherein each member can come forward and write a mail to WIRC and say that he or she is willing to work on for the WIRC, be as a speaker, be as a coordinator, be as a compiler, writer to the publication. We listed down some 20 odd topic and we targeted, let's bring these publications which are useful to small and medium sized practitioners, and I'm very glad to tell you that almost 15 of them are out and 3-4 are on the verge of completion, and we should be publishing the same in the short time. Also, there were people who came forward from smallest places. For example, somebody from Kudal came forward, somebody from Ahmednagar, somebody from Jalgaon, somebody from Junagadh, somebody from Rajkot. They came forward as a writer, as a speaker, as a coordinator, and there were various initiatives in which the people came forward. if you all haven't taken advantage of this, there is a Google form available on the website. Please do fill up. And if you see the current today's treasurer, be it Bhavna or be it the other MOCs, they have all applied through this my role at WIRC, and they have come forward and we have given them opportunity. So each program, if you see, there are different people being taken up. Whether we are there or not there, the conference should run smoothly, and the chartered accountant willing to give back to the alma maters are given this opportunities of serving to the regional council. हम लोगों को पूछते थे कि कॉन्फ्रेंस कैसा लगता है, कोई भी आफ्टर एनी कॉन्फ्रेंस वी टेक फीडबैक्स एंड मेनी अ टाइम पीपल जोकिंगली से दैट वी हैव कम हियर फॉर नेटवर्किंग. ज्ञान तो व्हाट्सएप और यूट्यूब पे भी बहुत मिल रहा है, बट हम आए हैं नेटवर्किंग के लिए. तो एक दिन हम यही डेलिब्रेशन कर रहे थे, मी अर्पित सौरभ, की नेटवर्किंग की बातें बहुत हो रही है, व्हाट डू वी डू फॉर नेटवर्किंग. सो वी क्रिएटेड वन पेज कॉल्ड नेटवर्किंग जोन, and this is published every month in News and Views. A beauty of this is, just one-liner advertisement given free of cost, where any firm wanting partner across India, if you are expert in indirect tax, you can say that I am expert in indirect tax, willing to do, partnership or willing to do networking with the other professionals. 1 or 2 months this continued. We said, let's try and taste it, कि ठीक चल रहा है, नहीं चल रहा है. We were on the travel to Surat. I just saw in that month, there was one-liner advertisement saying there is a firm up for sale in Surat. We also deliberated upon certain topics like how to grow SMP, how to do a succession planning. There were some CA firm we saw. In these CA firm, there were only proprietor, and proprietor suddenly died, and the entire practice gone. So हम succession का भी बात कर रहे थे. We organized few lectures also on succession planning of CA firms by respected Vimal Punamia ji. In this, I saw one-liner advertisement. There is a firm up for sale in Surat. So I called up that gentleman and said that, I am interested in buying your firm. What are your terms, conditions? So he said, sir, it was published some 20 days ago, and there are inquiry from Surat itself, and we are discussing. We are at very great high stage. अगर वहाँ कुछ नहीं होगा तो I'll definitely contact you. Then I gave him my introduction. I told him that, look, I was actually taking a feedback कि ये एडवर्टीजमेंट का कुछ इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा है. तो ही सेड, सर अमेजिंग, मैंने कभी सोचा ही नहीं था कि क्या करूं, कैसे करूं. ऐसे ही एक लाइनर एडवर्टीजमेंट दे दिया, सोचा फर्म बेचूं, क्योंकि मेरी भी, ही वॉज ऑलमोस्ट 65. सो ही सेड दैट आई वॉज थिंकिंग दैट हाउ डू आई डू दिस ट्रांजेक्शन एंड हाउ डू आई डू अ पीसफुल रिटायरमेंट सो दैट टुडे आई एम देयर, इवन इफ आई एम नॉट देयर, माई फैमिली शुड गेट अ रेगुलर इनकम. He said, out of discussion of 4-5 firm, I created one formula wherein there is no obligation on me to go to the office, but at the same time I'll get the X remuneration for 10 years. So now today I am not in pressure. The transaction which I am about to enter into, 10 साल तक मैं हूँ या नहीं हूँ, मेरे फैमिली को ये इनकम आएगी. I think a wonderful, एक भी firm if is able to take advantage of such thing, I think we all have a deep satisfaction of what we have done in form of networking. One more advertisement, Ghaziabad based, I just called up. The advertisement was, want 20 partners across India. So I said, I am from Mumbai, I want to become partner in your firm. So he said, sir, Mumbai में already discussion चालू है, अगर उनका नहीं होगा तो करते हैं, और आपकी firm का profile मुझे भेज दीजिए. Then I disclosed my identity. I said that, look, I am a treasurer, I was just trying to take a feedback. He said, 13 location we are under discussion. After giving this ad in last month, 1.5 महीना हो गया था, and again very very happy. He said, हम भी नहीं सोच पा रहे थे, and look at the visibility of the newsletter. हम वेस्टर्न रीजन में जा जाके लोगों को बोलते हैं, यहाँ सबको ब्रीफ करते हैं कि इसको देखिए, but there are people across India, they are watching the ICI, they are watching the WIRC, they are watching the newsletter of WIRC. Casually I visited one of the region, and on the region chairman desk, the WIRC web page was open. So I said, क्या बात है सर, आप हमारा ऑडिट कर रहे हो WIRC का, to that region's chairman. So he said, practically every day, first I reach my region's office, I watch WIRC web page कि यहाँ क्या चल रहा है, and let me try and duplicate that in my region. So in true sense, the region is the leader, and in fact that makes us more responsible, and it makes us, more challenging to work, and we are so committed. In fact, more than me and Saurabh, the chairman is committed. We tried and applied a leave also for 7 days, native जाना है, but he is, though he is techno savvy, वो ऐसे मेल ही नहीं खोलता है, पढ़ता ही नहीं है कि हम लोग कुछ लीव का एप्लीकेशन करते हैं, then we have to bunk and we go, and फिर आने के बाद कुछ सुन लेते हैं, डांट बाट देता है तो. Not a single Sunday the leave is being taken. I don't know how his family is also allowing, and he still sits at till midnight almost daily. He is there in the WIRC. So really thankful to him for sparing his valuable time, his vision. We have seen in last 10, 11 months the kind of, changes which have happened in the WIRC. If you see the web page, the entire web page is interactive. Of course, there are so many initiatives. I'm not talking about them. Saurabh Bhai is here. The chairman sir himself is here. Let them talk about more initiative. The last one, which is again very close to my heart, is Prerna. So हम बातें करते थे कि small और medium sized practitioners के लिए कुछ करना है. And this year the thought was that only. We being coming from, small practice, हम सोच रहे थे कि let's do something more for the small and medium sized practitioner. We have heard Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying that we want Indian Big Four. So we said that कुछ करते हैं. Networking zone था, my role at WRC था, जिससे we were giving a platform to people, but we were still having in mind कि कुछ और भी करना है. We designed this program called Prerna. During our initial visit at the branches, we realized there's a pool of female chartered accountant, those who have taken active break from their active practice or active professional life. And when they want to come back, they need to update a lot of things in their, if they want to come back, and looking at the kind of order which NAFRA is passing and the kind of challenges, the law like GST, ever dynamic, and daily we have been seeing new council meeting coming and telling you something X, Y, Z. So not only learning, the unlearning has become challenging. So we said that there's a pool of resources available, one side. Another side, there are small and medium sized practitioners like me. When we go to office, we actually see what is to be done. हम शायद डे में कुछ घर से प्लान करके निकलते हैं, बट शाम को जब सोचते हैं कि आज क्या किया तो कुछ और ही करते हैं. नोटिसेस आती है, पहला हफ्ता GSTR 1 भरने में जाता है, दूसरा हफ्ता 3B भरने में जाता है. मंथ एंड आने पे सोचते हैं अभी TDS के कंप्लायंस किसके करने हैं, बीच में एडवांस टैक्स आता है, 99C आता है, साल खत्म होने पे IT रिटर्न आता है. एंड हु इज आवर कॉम्पिटिटर? बिगेस्ट कॉम्पिटिटर इज टेक्नोलॉजी. I'll tell you one example, one small example. We filled up one complicated return having, capital gain of property. 2001 के पहले का परचेस था, उसको वैल्यूएशन करवाया, एग्रीमेंट पढ़ा, उसमें भी फादर से सन को ट्रांसफर हुआ था, दुनिया भर का झमेला. Same person had lot of derivative transaction, lot of speculative transaction. Post the completion of the return filing, we raised the invoice of 20,000. Now this gentleman is calling my office and telling that कि सर वो clear tax पे तो 2,500 में हो रहा है. Time which we spend, many of the clients don't value that. And that's the concern. So we also thought over about this. We said, let's design some Excel. हम भी जिसको clear tax की सर्विस चाहिए, हम भी उसको Excel देते हैं template. Data भर तेरे घर पे. I don't want to meet you, you don't meet me. Give an acknowledgement that you are responsible for your data. Then we discuss this, कि ये सबके साथ हो रहा है. So we said that we don't have in SMP a guy who is looking at the technological development. We don't have HR policies. We don't know in which new practice area we should enter. I was not aware that kind of work which is done in forensic, which after I met Arpit I realized कि oh इतना बड़ा business हो रहा है forensic में. The new areas which have come. Saurabh is into startup consulting. Before coming to region, I was never aware that there can be somebody who is only into startup consulting. So these newer areas, who will tell the SMPs? We don't have, the kind of geographical presence. Who will tell me that go and open a branch in Ahmedabad, Pune, Bangalore, where there are more opportunities coming up today? Who will tell me that, look, there's a huge market of corporate tax in Dubai, there's a VAT market in Dubai, and sitting here people are doing that execution. We met some people, some chartered accountant in Solapur, and they said we are doing an execution, 7-8 chartered accountant doing an execution of out of India. The small KPO is being run in Solapur. I met one female chartered accountant in Rajkot. She's doing accounting of a lawyer firm in UK and earning 3 lakh rupees per month. So we created a series called Niryat. Of course, Saurabh Bhai will talk about Niryat more. Then we said that, look, we need to do this for the SMPs. Prerna was one such program. We created one program called Executive Presence and Personal Branding for female chartered accountant. Of course, it was open for everybody. A male CA can also attend this program and become Prerna for any firm. We also designed one 7-day course naming it as a Prerna. And this is not initiative for this year, friends. We know that the result of these initiative is not going to come in 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. But I am very sure that in coming 3 years, people will take advantage of this initiative, and that's the entire region of creating this initiative, and these are going to be long lasting, and I'm sure once these Prernas will be empaneled on the WRC's webpage, these small and medium sized practitioners will take advantage of Prerna on a professional basis. In fact, on a pilot basis, we implemented in some firm, including Arpit's own firm, and we have been seeing the result. The practice are growing leaps and bounds by 1x to 2x. One of the Prerna, I'll tell you, was picked up by the Big Four. There's a CA called Prachi. She did this and she was picked up by one Big Four saying that, you know, what you are doing. And they have, you know, knowledge partner, resource partner. They have wisdom keeper. Do a small and medium sized practitioner have? No. But we can appoint a Prerna who will serve the purpose of all the areas. She can tell me that what kind of tenders are being floated on the PD ICI on a daily basis. She will tell me that, look, change technology. She will tell me that, look, create HR policies, and she can do it from sitting at home. She may be, you know, guiding to my firm, to Saurabh's firm, to Arpit's firm, and at the same time, the advantage of each firm will be shared with 100% secrecy. Being chartered accountant, definitely she is aware of code of ethics, code of conduct. So that was the thought process behind Prerna. In fact, each initiative, if we talk, it's, you know, initiative wherein there are deep deliberations have gone through, and hours and time we have spent in creating all this. It's not only just design and logo which we have put on the website. Trust me, we have spent a lot of time, and we are trying that we should take the WIC's activity to next level. With that kind of commitment, we have spent the entire year, and in fact, another 30 days are there in our hand, and we will be fully dedicated to the WIC's activity. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So next among us, we have मीठी बात और चेहरे पे मुस्कान. मीठी बात और चेहरे पे मुस्कान, आप जैसे लोग ही है हमारी शान. So let's welcome Secretary WRC, CA Saurabh Ajmera.
Thank you, Deepika. It's indeed a great pleasure to be here in this GST National Conference. And the way structure is designed, I like to compliment the coordinators, the speakers, especially Vivek Laddaji, who is the backbone of this conference. Let's have a big round of applause for him. He is always supportive to us to organize GST seminars and conferences. Dignitaries on the dais, respective innovative and energetic chairman of WRC, CA Arpit Kabraji, very learned personality and experienced man, treasurer of WRC, CA Ketan Sayaji. Friends, I want to share you that this year will be a historical year in the history of the WRC, in the history of the ICI. Why I am telling that, you will all agree after hearing all the facts which I am going to share with you. In general, in a year, WRC is sharing the CPR knowledge which is expected from WRC for knowledge sharing and to get empowered for all these members. Approximately in the last 10 years, WRC is sharing knowledge for 60 to 70,000 CPRs. But in this year, after having this conference, we have already crossed more than 140,000 CPRs in terms of knowledge sharing. And this is the historical year where we have all the technology initiative in a 1 year, because earlier what happened, when we starting our website, it takes time for 1 year or 2 years. In this year, we have come out with the website also, we have come out with the WRC chatbot, WRC Setu, I was discussing earlier also. So I request Ketan Bhai to show the WRC Setu to all our members. In this Setu, hello is already written over there. Once you will say hello from your mobile, the chatbot will recognize you immediately and it will reply by your name. That how may I help you, sir? And all the standard queries will be solved in a second of time. Whatever we need, the information related to WRC will be there. And then again, we also have WRC Connect, our app. So we'll have fully loaded technology at WRC. And furthermore, we are sharing knowledge on technology at the most. And that is why we have come out with the TechS series. In this series, every Thursday we are discussing for the technology, be it Power BI, be it ChatGPT, be our robotic process optimization, everything we are discussing in this TechS series. Recently we had a session on a very important topic, that how AI can be useful in legal drafting. And believe me friends, the kind of feedback we have received is really wonderful, that whatever we are doing for department submission, for GST department, for income tax, we are taking almost 5 to 7 days to prepare the same, but it can be prepared with the use of AI tool in a 10 minutes of time with the proper inputs. So that way we are doing various programs to share the technology with all our members. And friends, very importantly, one of the initiative which we are taking at WRC is networking, and that is why we have to understand the network we have in ICI. We have already created some tools, but how to forward link it? We have come out with the Niryat series, and where we are connecting all 48 countries where we have presence in terms of ICI globally. So today almost we have completed more than 20 countries in this Niryat series, and where we are guiding all our members that how we can explore overseas opportunity, how we can establish KPOs, BPOs, and any kind of specific working which a country need from India with our members. And we are providing an opportunity to earn in dollar when we have spending in rupees. So that way Niryat series is very important, my friends, and this is a virtual series. So anytime you can go over YouTube channel, you can attend all our programs which we have already completed. We have completed with Qatar, Kenya, Tanzania, Australia, Singapore, and so many countries we have already covered. And then friends, we are providing specific knowledge to all our members also in our relearning series, in our various programs. And I want to share a startup lab concept over here because I am from the startup background. So when we are discussing about opportunity, obviously after having SS Gupta sir session, I can say we have a humongous opportunity in GST also. Either client may be in online gaming, maybe in cloud computing, maybe in cloud kitchen, maybe in online delivery of the food. Everywhere we have great opportunity to work in litigation in GST. But in startup space also, friends, I like to share you that at each step, the role of CA is very important. Startup came out with an idea will go in an entity, and while forming the entity, a chartered accountant is required. When entity formation is completed, if there is a growth, then for fund arrangement, valuation, due diligence, founding, co-founding, agreement drafting, everywhere the role of chartered accountant is very, very important. If startup at a large scale, then alternative fund arrangement is playing a vital role, and where also our CAs are playing very important role. So that is why we have come out with the concept of startup lab, in which we are discussing for all the opportunities, all the areas where our CA members can flourish. And very importantly, we had a session, how a CA can be an angel investor in startup. In equity market, we are doing 2x, 4x. In last year, exceptional year, you can say we had 5x also. But in startup space, while we are investing in angel investment, we can make 20x, 25x in a 3 year of span. So that is why we are discussing such a program, such an important program in our startup lab. And friend, one more initiative which is near to my heart, I want to share with you is Gurukul@WRC. We are in the financial capital where we have industry also, and we want to connect our industry friends, industry members also. And that is why we have come out with such kind of programs, where we are providing opportunity to all our industry friends to organize a training program for their organization and collaborate with other organizations also. And we are designing all kind of training programs on a customized basis to our industry. So that is why I am sharing with you, because you can also have a word with the industry friends. If they are willing to have such programs, we are readily welcome to all my industry friends at WRC. Friends, In WRC, we have 36 branches, and first time in the history of the WRC, we have covered all the branches, and apart from the branches, we have study circles and study chapters. So first time in the history of WRC, when we were on our branch visit, in last 7 days also we were on traveling. We covered Jalna, Latur, Nanded, Parbani, and then yesterday Jalgaon. So many branches we are covering. But this year we are targeting our study circle and study chapters also to visit the same, so we can empower them in a max possible manner, because they need more empowerment when they do not have branches, they do not have WRC regional office over here. So that is why I am saying that this will be the historical year in terms of WRC, when we have all the initiatives, all the things which we can plan for our member in terms of empowerment. So my simple request to all the members is that please follow WRC on a regular basis and discuss with your friend circle also that WRC is doing various initiatives. If we can take part in best possible manner, that will be great. With 2 lines, I will take my seat when we are discussing about the opportunities. One thing is very important, that is emphasis. We have to understand first our role. So I will summarize my address in last 2 lines. अगर हम ठान ले तो उम्र हमें थका नहीं सकती, उम्र हमें थका नहीं सकती, ठोकर हमें गिरा नहीं सकती। अगर जिद है जीतने की, अगर जिद है जीतने की, तो हार भी हमें हरा नहीं सकती, हार भी हमें हरा नहीं सकती। Thank you very much guys for your patience hearing, and before this session we want to have interaction, so you can understand now the value of interaction, what kind of quantum we are doing at WRC, and that is why we were seeking your interaction in this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now is the time to listen to our leader. But before that, I have 2 lines to say for him. आपके चेहरे पर जो मुस्कान है, आपके चेहरे पर जो मुस्कान है, आपसे मिलता हमारे सब समस्या का निवारण है। स्वागत करते हैं आपका, क्योंकि आप हमारे प्रेरणा का कारण हैं। So let's welcome our leader, Chairman WRC, CA Arpit Kabra.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. It's an absolute pleasure and privilege to be in front of you standing today and talking about all of these things. Naveen sir, we really would like to apologize also because we've taken a lot of your time, but believe me, the crowd over here is absolutely committed and they would be here. You'll get a full slot available that is there, and we'll always hear you because the kind of content that is prepared is really wonderful, and I'm sure all of you will enjoy. I must really thank Umesh Sharma sir because of whom we are doing this conference. He's just occupied in some places, and therefore we were thinking that today he might join us while we were traveling across. Yesterday we had also income tax 11 versus commissioners of income tax 11 versus chartered accountants 11 cricket match, and all of this was there planned up. Today also there are so many actions planned up. There's a forensic audit webinar going on. No, it's a seminar going on at BKC. There's one more program going on at BKC. So we thought we'll do an inaugural here, but as time would have it, everyone has an occupation to attend to. But today, you must have heard Shweta yesterday, you have heard Ketan Bhai, you've heard Saurabh today, and I'm sure that you would be convinced about one thing, that the kind of platform that we have, the WIRC platform, it's a massive platform, it's an amazing platform, and each one of you can unlock a value for yourself there. My idea was, since I got a chance to unlock a value for myself here, I mean, just 7 years before, I was one of, as an audience in a conference in Lalit, where I got a chance, someone told me that, anyone wants to be an MOC for the next day conference, next day session. I raised my hand then, and from there I came here, from being a part of the crowd, now leading to the largest crowd of chartered accountants in the country. My life has therefore come as a full circle here. And that is what I thought, this should happen for each one of us. And therefore, my role at WRC and everything that we done, we want to make sure that, each one of you get whatever that you want. And therefore, every time we go around and meet and interact people, we want to ensure that, we get all those inputs. Until unless we discuss this, until unless we talk this, until unless we let you know about what's happening at WRC, what the kind of work we are doing, probably we'll never get those inputs. Today, we've got an input after hearing networking zone. Someone just texted me that, hey, Arpit, am I audible to the last? I'm not able. Hey, Arpit, can we have a, you've done all of this. For example, there was a third line ad which said about one particular zone and a chartered accountant seeking a partner. That's already closed. I got a message yesterday saying, sir, ये publish हुआ है परसों और already वो close हो गया है. So great. Can we remove it now? Because I'm getting so many calls. मैंने कहा कि it is not a dynamic. It is a part of our newsletters. It's going to everywhere. With the kind of analytics we have, as Saurabh mentioned, the website is our own now. So it's our own server, it's our own domain. Till now it was hosted on someone else's code, but now it has with us. The kind of traffic that we see, the kind of analytics that we've seen is massive. People not only from the WRC or the India, but for everywhere across are looking at our websites, are looking at this and are participating. In fact, let me tell you, when we were in Nanded and Parbhani, there were 3 chartered accountants who raised hands that, because of networking zone, sir, we've got an opportunity to come to Mumbai and work in a US-based outsourcing firm. And they do it periodically. So 300 of them, not 1 or 2 or 10, 300 of them in that entire zone, they come here based out of Goregaon, this firm. They work, they go back to do the June filing returns. September they do it. Again, they've come back today. In this season, they've come back because December is the ending. And then they'll do it till March, then go back again. So that's the kind of enabling this networking zone has become. A small little newsletter, but has become such an important tool with small little changes that we do. So therefore, 2 things that I feel that it's going to be very important is for all of us as chartered accountants. 1, collaboration, and 2, technology. Before I could ask my members to, try and use technology in their own spaces, I first thought, let me first do it and implement it at WRC. Show them, demonstrate them that, see, this is possible, this is possible. The chatbot, for example, in fact, there are almost like around 12 firms who have come to us that we want a chatbot for our own this. Could you suggest? And then I have suggested that person who has helped us set this up is a chartered accountant again. And therefore, it's professionally that they are working on this and they're setting up a chatbot for themselves as well. This chatbot, if you say hello to WRC, one thing you'll realize is we are now verified in the metaverse. We've got a green tick, which is very difficult for an organization to have it, 1. 2, someone who doesn't have a legal entity in India. So we don't have a PAN card of our own. My study circles therefore have a different AOP and therefore they have a different PAN. But we at WRC don't have it because we are still part of the ICI collectively. So everything that we do, whatever that we have to do, has to be as per ICI. And therefore, getting a metaverse tick in that kind of a verified tag was almost next to impossible. But the kind of activities we have, the kind of engagements we have, Facebook was convinced that, look, these people should have a virtual identity. When we had it, even the SIRC could get it, and the other regions may follow very soon, I'm sure. But yes, this is how the WRC takes up. मतलब वो एक जुनून होता है कि एक बार ये ले करना है तो वो करना है. And the idea is, how do we execute it so well? This was only possible because of 2 things again. A combination of energy and experience. You can see a wonderful experienced chartered accountant, Ketan Sayya. I think most of you must have heard him speak in bank audits or other sessions. Is fortunate enough to have such a senior person and an experienced person as a team member. Because imagine a chairman giving a feedback to a treasurer, so individually I cannot even stand in front of him and tell him something, but given the position that we are in, it's amazing the way that he's, come all together. I think really hats off to you, Ketan bhai. We can have a huge round of applause for him. So you see him, there's another senior chartered accountant, a very, very influential, very powerful chartered accountant from Ahmedabad, C. Hitesh Pomal. Big firm, big setup, everything top class. And just imagine, whenever I ask him, he has to be there in front of me. He comes always, says, Chairman sir, hukum karo. Just humility that these people bring on table. I think, so experience. And Saurabh and me, both of them, young people trying to gear up on something or the other. So the experience and energy. This combination is something that is going to be the next fusion, if anything that we want to do. And therefore, I invite all of you as chartered accountants, all my members, please invest in energy. Please try and see if we can work in teams like this. And therefore, and one of the dictum that we follow is, if you want to grow your practice, you want to get out of your firm. You cannot just sit in a firm and try and grow your practice. So the idea is to get out of the firm, let the people who are in the firm to work, but get work or do a process and all of this outside. So there are a lot of things that has evolved through WIRC. These initiatives, I think they've all spoken about it. I need not repeat them again. But I would really like to invite all of you. Our secretaries, for example, they've been there for so much time. But this time we gave them 2 simple bots, Grammarly and Marillion. And read the emails. We got a feedback that, these emails are very good for even drafting now, to teach drafting in some of the places. Now that's the importance of what we are doing at WIRC. We are demonstrating that, look, use a bot, use a chat GPT or use something so that you can. So next time you see an email from WIRC, please ensure that you at least go and read it. See the subject line. If not, then you can ignore it. But yes, now our every communication is a wonderful piece of art. Let me tell you that. It's doing very well. And I would be happy if I could get some feedback from each one of you on these lines. Last, what I want to speak about is, as Saurabh mentioned, Ketan Bhai mentioned the entire life cycle of what we are doing. 31st December, most of the people go around and traveling, but we were here in these kind of halls, finishing our CP credits. हमारे साथ वो नैन्सी करके रहती है, घूमती रहती है हमारे साथ, उसको हमको 31st तक विदा करना होता है, तो उसको हमको संभालना पड़ता है, पूरे टाइम उसी में लगे रहते हैं. But imagine a 3 a.m. call that came to us on the eve of Christmas, saying that 2 chartered accountants have been arrested. It just put us into frenzy. We were traveling back from Pune then. We got into action because next day we were about to speak in Mira Road Study Circle. They had invited us. Full study circle was around 200 people were there. They all wanted to know about these. So code of ethics was the spirit of the entire session there, and we were just discussing about it. And there it dawned on me. Although we are doing everything that we have to do, these small little aspects that we keep on doing, these initiatives, this education, but there is one thing that we need to really set into ourselves. One thing that we need to really now talk about, think about. How far do we go as chartered accountants? How far do we go in serving? Imagine this chartered accountant, a very senior chartered accountant again, and a very simple chartered accountant, a very social chartered accountant, which almost most of us are. When a police raid came on one of the clients, there were 2 partners. The other one alleged that my signatures have been misused and money has been flown out in some activities which I don't approve of. He filed a police complaint with EOW. EOW came in. EOW asked, moved around. They went to the promoters to arrest one of them. He said, "Sir, you cannot come to me. I have an indemnity. The CFO and CEO are first responsible. Please go and interact with them." They have an agreement to that effect. They went there. In conversation, they got to know that this entire thing was structured by a chartered accountant. He was there as a part of it, and of course the compliance part would have done by him. So it is highly likely that he must have used those signatures, and therefore the police went. Only 3 questions were asked. सिर्फ 3 सवाल पूछा, और एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट जो AC केबिन में बैठता है, एक कॉल पे या 1 घंटी पे उसके पास चाय आ जाती है, कॉफ़ी आ जाती है, सैंडविच आ जाती है. He's got all the benefits. In fact, he employs so many people. He runs office, families of so many people. एक सिंपल प्रोप्राइटर भी अगर होता है तो 5 जन की तो फैमिली चलाता है वो. ऐसे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को ये 3 सवाल से एक AC केबिन से लेके एक ऐसी जगह ले जाता है जहाँ पर हर टाइप के प्राणी अवेलेबल है, जानवर अवेलेबल है. इंसान जो जानवर बन चुके हैं वो भी उस छोटी सी जगह में है. खाना पीना तो दूर की बात है, जहाँ पर निकालना होता है वो भी उधर ही है, सब ओपन में ही है, सब कुछ उधर है. उधर उसको अगर रखा जाए एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को विदाउट हिज फॉल्ट, एक पुलिस कस्टडी जो बोलते हैं, इमेजिन हाउ टफ एंड हाउ, मतलब इट वुड बी सो डिफिकल्ट, इट वुड बी एन एब्सोल्यूट नाइटमेयर. 3 क्वेश्चन पूछे कि आप इन लोगों को जानते हैं? बोला हाँ जानता हूँ. क्या आपको मालूम है इनके बीच में ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहा था? क्या इन दोनों का कॉन्करेंस था? तो ये सेड कि हाँ डील हो गई थी, दोनों अग्री किए थे, ये टर्म्स थी. तीसरा, क्या आपने ये फाइलिंग करी, आपने साइन यूज़ किया है? He took a pause to think what to answer. They understood. They found the DSCs there and took him to the police custody. At 3 a.m. we got a call कि सर ऐसा ऐसा हो गया है, and we were there actually boasting that chartered accountants can not do a fraud at all because ना तो हम साइन कर सकते हैं, ना तो हम चेक्स पे साइनिंग अथॉरिटी है, ना मेरे पास कुछ है. We can advise, they take a call, they do it on their own. But what is it that when we go so far for to seek their convenience? I remember September season में तो सारे promoters फॉरेन जाते हैं फैमिलीज को लेके, हमारे सबको बोल देते हैं कि भाई ऑडिट खत्म कर देना तुम्हारी टाइम पे, क्योंकि मेरे को तो बाहर जाना है, जो भी साइनिंग कराना है तुम करा लो, मेरे को तो इस डेट पे मेरी टिकट्स बुकड है, मेरे को जाना है, तुम करो जो करना है. मतलब वेदर यू फॉलो द प्रोसेस और नॉट, दे आर इमटेरियल. इट इज चेक द बॉक्स, यू डू इट. द आइडिया इज देयरफॉर हाउ मच डू वी स्ट्रेच, हाउ मच डू वी गो फार. Something that we need to take a call. Believe me, we had to rush. We had to rush so hard. We had to reach out to so people. Me and Ketan both were involved. Saurabh was on another space. We consulted so many seniors कि सर कुछ भी करो, पुलिस कस्टडी से बच जाए, ये मैजिस्ट्रेट कस्टडी में ले जाए, छुट्टी है 2 दिन है, हालत ख़राब हो जाएगी. Somehow we could pull that off. But believe me, फिर उसके बाद चेस्ट पेन तो सबको हो ही जाता है आजकल, बूटा साहब, तो उसको फिर सीधा हॉस्पिटल में ले जाओ. पहले एक बार पुलिस कस्टडी से मैजिस्ट्रेट कस्टडी तो लेके जाओ. पॉइंट इज, इफ नॉट, सो इफ यू आर अलोन, इफ यू आर जस्ट वर्किंग ऑन योर ओन, हु इज देयर टू टेक केयर ऑफ दिस? एंड देयरफॉर द आइडिया ऑफ कोलैबोरेशन इज वेरी स्ट्रांग नाउ, especially with so many people reviewing our work, so many eyes watching us. We need to be more cautious, and forget cautious, we need to be together. There has to be someone who's there. Nagar mein, for example, a chartered accountant got arrested. Who filed the complaint? A cooperative ministry, matlab commissioner office, filed a complaint, filed an FIR against this. Now that is the height. How do they even think that they can take an action against chartered accountant? In what capacity? हाँ, individually अगर हो, so अर्पित काबरा पे कर रहे तो ठीक है, but अगर आप चेयरमैन WRC पे या चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट प्रैक्टिसिंग CA के लिए कर रहे हो, then I think there is a problem there. And so therefore, you know, it's a call that all of us have to answer sometime or now. At WRC, we keep on talking about these things. This is one of those sessions that I thought, you know, whatever we're doing, we are presenting ourselves, we're presenting what we've done so that you can carry it with you. Use the chatbots, use all of these. Be available to any of these conferences, any of the places, because next Friday Funda is one of those sessions that we were just talking about in the audience. I thought, let me highlight to all of you. One of those sessions that really are worthy to look forward to. One of these sessions that we are doing is office SOPs. As a CA practicing chartered accountant, what are the SOPs, general SOPs that we should have in offices? We are doing this session on Friday Funda. Apart from that also, if you think that you want to be any of these, fill up my role, be in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to invite you on these kind of platform, because if it was available for me, it's available for each one of you. Take the most out of it. And in the end, I want to just say, these some lines, you know, when everyone has said, let me also put it, I don't know if that is a benchmark, but आँखों में आंसू है तो मुस्कान है, धागे में गांठ है तो संधान भी है. संधान मतलब अगर कोई धनुष को, मतलब धनुषबाण जो यूज़ करते हैं, अगर तीर को अगर मुझे लक्ष्य की तरफ भेजना है, जो कि हमको हर बार करना होता है, तो उसका काम भी एक धागे को करना होता है, और वही धागे में गांठ भी लगती है जो उसको पूरा यूजलेस बना देती है. तो आंखों में अगर आंसू है तो मुस्कान भी है,